It's Jodi here. So glad to see you. Happy Monday. How is everyone today? How was your weekend? How's your week been? What is going on in your lives? Please say hello so I know that you're here and that you're listening and that you want lots of information that I'm going to share today. I was thinking though, when I was writing notes about what to talk about, I was like, they better get notebooks. I have so much to say, but that's okay. It's recorded. So you could always see, it looks like I'm not live. Oh, I am live. Okay. I thought I solved this problem, but I guess I didn't. So I've been live the whole time. So you heard me. That's good. So say hello. Hi, Nikki. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to have you here. So hi, Stephen. Hi. I've been thinking about you and saying lots of prayers and lots of incense. There's so many people to pray for. I do realize that, but they're listing, the list is here. I write it down. I'm using a lot pen and paper to do lists. Well, I always do. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've always wrote my list on pen and paper. I don't like to show it because it's out of control, but I have a heart on the bottom where I put the people that I'm praying for each day, people that I'm working with, and people who are. So let me tell you what's been happening. When I push the live broadcast, I get a circle for about 30 seconds. And then and sometimes I click around and then you have blank time for like 30 seconds while I realize I'm live. So this time I just pretended I was live. But when the circle went away, it said it still had the click button. So I don't know. I don't know about this platform. I'm plugged into the internet, so I don't have a problem. And I figured out how not to be so gray on my webcam. So I look a little bit more human color than I usually do. I usually look so gray with this camera. And so I was going to change everything around. So I looked up online how I could change the white balance, and I did it. So I look a little more human than usual, and that's like a ghost, right? Well, everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to get more energy in your life, because I think a lot of us, you could tell me if it's you, I think a lot of us are feeling really tired. Who's feeling really tired? Who's feeling exhausted? Who's feeling like their energy zapped? And there are so many reasons for this, but today while I'm waiting for you to type, anytime you want to type your questions, because this is about you. On Mondays, this is about answering your questions that you might have. But I usually bring a topic, as you know, that is pretty much a topic that a lot of us are dealing with. So hopefully, even if you don't have any questions today, you get something out of it. So I'm going to go over 3 ways to get more energy in your life. And the first way, and go ahead and start typing. The first way is to stop worrying about how tired you are. Who, when they're tired, repeats it over and over in their head, out loud, to somebody else, whoever's listening, write it down, whatever. Who says, I'm so tired? Why am I so tired? Who repeats this over and over and over again? I think this is the thing, is we have feelings. We all have tons of feelings. There's lots of stuff going on. And of course, we're going to respond to it. Our body's responding to it. Our mind's responding. Our heart is responding to all this stuff. And so when we feel a certain way, right away, we want to make meaning out of that. We want to figure it out. We want to make sense of it. We want to get control over that feeling. And so when we feel tired, this is the first thing we do. It's like, what's making me so tired? What's going on? What should I do about it? What's wrong with me? Right? We put all this meaning in questioning, right? To make the meaning, we have tons of questions. And I'm lumping that into the fact that it's not like classically we're worried about it. It's just that we are trying to figure it out. We're trying to solve the problem by looking into it. and giving it a lot of attention. So when my daughter does this all day, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm like, well, that is the worst thing that you could do if you're really tired and you don't want to be, and you have a lot of stuff that you really want to engage in, but you're so tired. The worst thing you could do is repeat it to yourself over and over, because that does lead us to thinking that something's wrong with us, that we're incapable, that we're sick or something, or that we're different than other people. This is the worst meaning that we can make, is that we're different, that everybody else has tons of energy and we're exhausted. And then wondering what's wrong. Am I depressed? Am I lazy? Am I anxious? What's making me so unmotivated? And that is such a distraction. So that zaps your energy. This questioning and this meaning making that we do takes all kinds of energy from us. And so when we do that, it zaps us. And I'm not saying never say you're tired. Of course, you could be real and express yourself. I'm saying if you're repeating it over and over, take a look at what that might be doing to you. Because there's a lot of reasons why we might be tired. And we could get really distracted because we can't figure out the exact right one. But there's tons of reasons why we're tired. One is we do too much, or we do a lot. Too much insinuates you're doing something wrong. But doing a lot, of course, it's going to exhaust us. Sometimes that's a good feeling. After a day of doing a lot of things, we might feel that good tired because we're accomplished. You know what I'm talking about. And sometimes we overdo, and our body feels it, and so we have to take some rest. And then sometimes the tired and the exhaustion is from not doing enough. And sometimes it's a physical issue, and sometimes it's emotional things that we're trying to pull through our bodies and release and experience and process. That makes us tired. Neurotransmitter issues make us tired. That means we're not being stimulated enough. And so we don't have the dopamine releasing. So that's making us tired. And also there's that biological trying to protect us. Our biology is trying to conserve calories. It doesn't want to expend the calories on something that might not be for survival, because over 2 million years, we've evolved to try to conserve calories in case there was a food shortage. We don't have a food shortage right now, most of us. And but we still have that biological piece. And when you misinterpret it and start to make meaning around yourself for all this negativity about it, it's going to definitely continue to zap your energy. So that's one. Stop worrying that you are so tired. Stop repeating it. Stop making meaning around it. Let me get to some of these questions before I share the other two. Okay. Hi. How can I keep myself grounded throughout the day as I wake up feeling pressure on my chest, and sometimes I can get cold with people myself? So it's a physical thing or it's an emotional thing, this pressure on your chest? I'm not really sure. I'm just going to guess that it could be a bit of both. And it might be preoccupying a little bit for you, because it's like, why do I have this pressure on my chest? So I totally have tons of compassion for yourself, because of course that is going to be a regular human response to that feeling, is wondering, what is this and what should I do about it? And is this a problem? So you could be present with yourself, but not question, right? Allow like the universe, spirit, God, whatever, your highest wisdom, allow that information to come forth instead of trying to make meaning around it yourself. Allow yourself to open and be like, why is this happening? And as you open, maybe things will start to shift. Breathe into that space, like breathe light into that space. I have a meditation that would be perfect for you in my 21 meditations. So you breathe right into this space, because I feel like that coldness is your preoccupation with what's going on. And if you have so much preoccupation with what's going on, then it's going to affect your energy, right? It's going to zap you. First of all, that worry about what's going on and you trying to problem solve does take a lot of your energy. Like your adrenaline's going off. It's going to you're going to be exhausted. So of course, and then when you're up in your head, when you're in your mind so much, then it's hard to be warm and personable with other people because you're kind of stuck up there. And so you want to try to get out of your head, and it might change the way you're responding to people. That is so simple, that answer. And it's like, you might say, oh, she doesn't really understand. But sometimes it is simple like that. And also, I don't know you that well to say anything too specific. So, all right. So, so Nikki says, I don't say it. I ignore being tired until it takes over everything. Well, Nikki, I know you really well. So I'm going to assume that you do overdo it. Not like you too much, like it's judgment, but doing more than you're physically, you've always your whole life been able to do that. It's like miraculous how you could do so much more than physically you should be able to. But so you have to regulate that instead of allowing your body to, because we are survivors, right? As humans, we're survivors. So if you think, oh, I could do it because I've done it before, or I just keep going, then yeah, your body, if you don't take responsibility to stop yourself, then your body will have to. And so so if you want to make the relationship with your body and you want to talk to your body and say, okay, I'm going to take this responsibility. So you don't have to do that for me anymore. You don't have to have the pain. Like a lot of time our body does something because we're not doing it. So if you're overdoing stuff, your body's going to have lots of pain to stop you. Yeah. So if you listen ahead or take that responsibility, I do this Gestalt work with people sometimes for physical stuff. I do this healing and we talk to that pain or we talk to that body part and see what it's doing for you so that we could do that. So you take responsibility, and a lot of times people have miraculous healings after that. I think I've done that with you before, I feel like. So Stephen, my love. With my usual taking care of everyone else, I've needed to focus on myself more than ever. Yes, I did read about your ordeal. And so you're cutting back and you've dipped into energy stores. Okay, so, we're going to get to number 2, which is, I think, going to help you, Stephen, like how to, because remember, this is 3 ways to get more energy in your life. The first one is stop being so concerned about that. Have a lot more compassion for yourself. And then I think maybe it'll help you a little bit. Oh, Sarah. So Dodd says, should I keep smoking weed if it makes me feel blissful? I am not pro marijuana. I'm not saying never have it, but when you're using it as medication, like for anxiety, I have seen that it increases your anxiety when you're not smoking. So if you smoke once in a while, like I'm not going to make any judgments on that at all. But and so on. I know it's becoming legal all over the place, and so it is just a regular thing. But I do know with the people that I work with who are taking it daily, it is having an adverse effect on a lot of different things, on many things. But I am not an expert, and I do not speak publicly about weed because I don't know enough about it. So I'm so sorry about that. I know how to make you feel blissful without it, but I don't know how to advise you. And I don't know all the science. I just know from clinical examples. Look at Sarah says, you saved my life. Thanks, Sarah. Oh, you got Joey on your profile picture. It's awesome. I love Friends. It's one of my favorite shows. Okay. Karen, I do say I'm often tired and it does limit my ability to keep going and go to bed at night, giving up for the day. And I go to bed at night, giving up for the day. So you make meaning around that bedtime that you're giving up for the day, and there's a deficit, like you feel like like you didn't do what you were supposed to or something. I feel the energy when you say that you're giving up, like that you failed to accomplish what you wanted to. And so I'd love you to think about the day differently, because there was tons of stuff that you did accomplish. All the things that you didn't get to, you're focused on that, but there's so many things you did get to and did do. That's going to be our number 3 I'm going to talk about, and this is going to help you, I think, is because I want the end of the day to be the opposite of giving up. Thanks, Sarah. She's clarifying where I get that. So, Okay. Dear Jodi, I survived my first semester in uni thanks to your book, from which I learned so much. Yay. Which one did you do? The blue one or the U1 Anxiety Zero? I'm not sure. They both are great. Oh, I probably started my second semester. Much love to you too. Liquid Courage. I'm so happy. Okay. So Dodd's asking, how do I feel blissful without it? That's what we're going to talk about here. Okay. Oh, thanks, Liquid Courage. Clarify which book. The other book is newer and it has some more information, but if you're looking for something to really help, that is good too for everybody. My book, Anxiety, you can see it back here. Anxiety, I'm so done with you. You can see it. And then U1 Anxiety Zero, and then Anxiety, I'm so done with you. All right. Okay. U1 Anxiety Zero. That's my first book from a couple years ago. It's like 4 years old. Oh my gosh, time just flies. All right, so I'm going to say the other two because you've been on here a long time. You're like, get to the information so that you got to get back to your lives. Okay, so we need to generate energy. So number 2 is generating energy, because I think that we should just have energy, but really we have to generate our own energy. It's like happiness, really. Like happiness is not just like some people have happiness and some people don't. Happy people generate their own happiness. So if you think about it, like you're not like the energy plant makes energy. We have to make that energy for ourselves. One, we nourish our bodies with good food. And then we also have to nourish our mind with good, positive things. So how do you bring in some energy? You bring in some energy. Some movement is really helpful to bring in some good energy. Some dancing or shaking or walking outside, even if it's cold, even if you're in the northern hemisphere and it's cold right now, it does wake you up. Sometimes even just opening a window for a little bit or opening the door and standing at the door to get that cold air does revive a little bit. It's like a wake. It's like better than drinking coffee because caffeine's going to go, caffeine or sugar, it's going to go up and then down. And there is a lot of good foods that actually boost your energy a lot better and sustaining it than coffee. But I'm not, that's kind of out of the scope of this. So something like bathing or taking a shower, that kind of self-care, or drinking a glass of water. Oops, I hit my microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud. So if you like drink that water or take a shower, take a bath, there's a benefit in both ways. Like, so relieving the tension, right? So when we want to have energy, we want to relieve the tension, and then we want to bring energy in. And so things like dancing, things like shaking, that releases energy. Things like listening to music, meditation, prayer, taking a shower, taking a bath, all of these things, taking a walk or exercise, all of them both release tension that really suck a lot of energy out of your body and bring in vitality into your life. All of these things do. A good talk with a good friend, getting out of your mind, helping somebody else, doing something creative. All of those things revive us. We need stimulation. Remember, I was talking about like the neurotransmitters. If you are bored and you're not releasing endorphins and dopamine very much, then the indifference to life and anything and the lack of motivation is really strong. We don't realize that. We totally blame ourselves, but we need some kind of stimulation. The best way to do that is to learn something or be creative. So that is how you feel blissful without pot. Is that you bring that energy in, where you constantly think like, we blame ourselves for not being energetic and positive. We blame ourselves so much, and that's such a distraction. And so if we thought, okay, we have to generate it, because that's such a distraction. And also you think you're different. Also you think, all that stuff. Okay, let's get to number 3, because I want you to be able to get what you need from this and then be able to go on with your day and feel so much better. So the third thing is celebrate yourself. Celebrate everything that you do. So even if you're tired, if you're starting to celebrate, okay, so when we're burnout, there's two things we need. One is acknowledgement. So if you have a good friend who could be a witness to you, that's why it's so nice to have a close people or witnesses to your life. They're noticing all the amazing things that you do. As humans, we need a witness for that. So important. But also, so acknowledgement, you could also do that for yourself. So I said if you're burnout, there's two things you need. One is a break. Yeah, you take a break, you rest, but you don't rest and blame yourself because you're lazy. You rest and say, this is great. I'm able to take care of myself in this way, right? The whole thinking about it differently. So when you're burned out, you need rest and then you need acknowledgement. Both of these things will revive your energy. And so, yes, you want other people to acknowledge you, but you could also acknowledge yourself. So that's number 3, celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate your accomplishments every night before you go to bed. Yes, you could write 3 things you're grateful for. That is great. But also on top of writing 3 things that you're grateful for, write 3 things that you accomplished that day. We're in such a deficit mentality. All we see is the things that we didn't get to. I'm right there with you. I'll tell you in a second, Stephen. I'm right there with you, but we have to retrain ourselves, right? Society and culture has trained us to see our deficits, and we have to retrain ourselves to just notice all the things that we do accomplish and celebrate those things, because then we're going to get more in touch with our skills, which is going to totally decrease our depression and anxiety when we're connected with our personal agency like that. And we will build our confidence. We'll know what to do to be happier. We'll trust ourselves in all kinds of situations. We'll create that life that we really, really want. So that's it. So 3 things. Stop worrying about it. Stop worrying you're so tired. Stop being preoccupied about being so tired, and bring the energy in and generate it. Sometimes do it fast. Like you want to know why you're tired, but stop beating yourself up about it and being preoccupied with it to make that meaning. Just do one of the things I say to counter all the reasons. Bring in energy to generate it, and then celebrate. All right. So, Stephen, shaking meditation. So you could call it meditation. You could call it shaking. Shaking is like animals when they, if an animal has a prey animal and is running away. So like you're running. So I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm reading it as I'm doing. I'm getting distracted. I'm reading the next comments. All right. So if like a deer is trying to run away from a predator that's trying to eat it, and after it survives, like you'd see it shake, like the sympathetic nervous system. It's a way to release that tension that the deer felt. The deer shakes to kind of release that. And so people have taken that on and used it as a meditation to kind of release some energy. I'm sure you've done that, Stephen, in some ways. Maybe you called it something else, but you could do your whole body. You could do parts of your body, your whole body, and you shake. You could do it to music. You could do it as if it's a meditation. You could do it as if it's a dance, but you kind of release and kind of open up some of the, our issues are in our tissues. We hold a lot in our body. And so when you shake, and I can't do it because I feel like I'm going to knock everything over and it's going to be a big, so I'm not really doing it, but you could shake your head, shake your body, shake your arms to really try to get out. I could go this way because there's no equipment on this side. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, you could find stuff all over the internet about shaking. All right. So Fatima, so there's a lot of people on this. How could it be more confident in public? So I get nervous in public. How can I beat social anxiety? I do have a video on YouTube on social anxiety. So look up Jodi Eamon social anxiety. So it's really talking about, and in my Anxiety Free Me program, I do have a video on social anxiety that goes really in depth. And so it's inviting you to be an observer, because in social anxiety, we feel like we're in a fishbowl and everyone's looking at us. And that's not really the case. Everyone has their own stuff. So I'm training you to realize that everybody is like lost in their own head and it's an easier way. And then you look at because usually people with social anxiety have a lot of great skills in noticing. And so we put those skills to work, and we start to really look at people and find the kind people. And then we go forth like that. But so that it's a little bit more than I can answer in this. That's like, a whole course or a whole video about social anxiety. Okay, so Sue says she's done shaking first thing in the morning. It's a great way to start the day. Absolutely. It's a great way to start the day. It's a release, and then it also vigorates. And then at night, you release. You could do it again to release. If it's too invigorating at night, maybe you don't want to do it right before bed. But it's great. Like after a day of work, you need to get that out of your body. Don't hold on to that anymore. Don't hold on to that anymore. All right. So I hope this was great. I hope it was really, really helpful. I'm so appreciative that you're all here. And I'm here every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And go get my Let It Go, because I have this Let It Go. It's a half-hour training on the formula to happiness, my 3 steps to letting go, and also really how to clear that emotional clutter in your life so that you could increase your energetic bandwidth. Because a lot of people are doing tons of self-care, but they're just feeling so weighed down by the world right now. And so you really have to know how to clear that out, protect yourself from bringing on more so that you could really increase your energetic imprint and build that trust in yourself so you could be happier. And so go ahead. I know you'll get on my email list too. And I'm creating a whole new website with a school with a bunch of courses, and hopefully that'll be done in the next couple of weeks. But you'll hear about it. And I know I promised 2 weeks ago that I was going to put a YouTube video up on meditation, and I have been so busy. I have more clients than I've ever had, and so because of this pandemic and people struggling, and so I've just had less time for me. All right, let me see if I don't want to. Your HSG test done a half hour ago. I don't know what that is, the Queen. What's an HST test? But I hope that everything goes well. I wish you such blessings that it comes out the way you want it to come out, whatever that test is. Stephen, you're welcome. You're a treasure. You're a beautiful human. I'm so glad that I'm connected with you on Facebook. And so I feel like, we're connected in that way. You're welcome, Fatima. All right. Love you all. See you next week.